So we're about a week away from Palantir's earnings, and I think the last video I made was about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less, but yeah, I think we're due for an update. We're going to break down the charts, go over what to expect earnings-wise, what the numbers are looking like right now, as clearly Palantir stock, guys, has not been having a great year. We're down year to date. Let's see here. I think we're down from around 180, I think we opened, to start the year. Now we're trading at $140 a share. So we're down, give or take 20% year to date on this name after it pretty much 10x'd in the span of what, 12, 18 months? How long was it for it to 10x? More than that, 20x almost, whatever it was, right? So Palantir is finally seeing a healthy, and I mean a healthy pullback over the last couple of months, and the chart arguably is showing more downside. So we have to go over again the charts, the numbers, what analysts are saying right now. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. I think 50% of you you're watching, but you're not hitting that subscribe button, and that needs to change. So hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, the follow button if you're watching on Facebook. I appreciate everybody on Facebook as well. And let's get into it, guys. So Palantir, what I'm seeing here on the charts before we dive into the numbers, and oh, by the way, earnings are on the 4th of May, which I think's a week from today or yesterday. Yeah, that might be next Tuesday, if my math's correct here, guys, if I can count the days right in my head. But we can see heading into the print next week, we have a clear descending triangle, which, look, we just put in another lower high a couple of days ago, which that marks what, the third or fourth lower high we've made over the last month and a half. You guys can see all of them right here. So the bears are still very much in charge, obviously. And if you guys don't know how this could play out, if the descending triangle plays out, we might be going back down to 125. And if that breaks, yeah, we're talking, we're going to break through a critical support from, I think, Liberation Day. Back in that time, about a year and some change ago, we peaked at about 125. Now we've held that as support. So that's a good sign, technically, for the bulls, right? Even though the bears are in charge in the short term, the fact that we're consolidating above 125, which was the all-time high early in 2025. That was the peak before the stock went down 40%. That's a good sign that we've held that all throughout this year. But the descending triangle is very hard to ignore. And again, if it plays out, if Palantir goes under 125, 120, it could tumble even further from there, especially if earnings are not up to par, maybe growth. It shows that growth slowing down. We obviously know software stocks are kind of in the trash can right now. Not saying that Palantir should be, but it's been grouped in. And not to mention, the valuation is still arguably high. It was ridiculously high to end off last year. So all of this has been a perfect storm for Palantir to sell off. The fact that the valuation was high, the market sold off a bit. Earlier, a month or two ago, we have all these software stocks getting spooked by AI. All of this has caused Palantir to get hit. And I think I mentioned this in my previous video. You have to really focus on, okay, what software stock is benefiting from AI, which ones are getting eaten by AI. Not every software stock's going to go under, guys. That's not how this works. And Palantir is one of them that I don't think is going to go under, obviously. I think it's going to do well. AI is an integral part of their business. And I think overall the stock's been looking for a reason, I guess, to sell off a bit. And the fact that software stocks are going down the toilet, people have been running out of this name, but they might regret it. They might regret it longer term. And look, it did get too hot. It got way overvalued. I can't lie. I mean, this stock got to over $200 last year, and I sold a good chunk at 180, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. And something told me, I had a feeling. Obviously, I didn't know. I can't read the future. I don't have a crystal ball, but I had a feeling that we were going to get this type of sell-off. Maybe not for this long. I had a feeling we'd give back some gains to start this year. But I didn't realize it would last 6 months, which is why I'm excited, or not excited, but I'm happy with my decision of locking in some gains here up here. Either way, man, Palantir long-term should be fine. They should be fine, but in the short term, they're vulnerable for more downside. And let's say, and that's just based off the charts. And let's say this triangle does play out, we might get a little more downside to $100, 105, 110. I don't think it's going to go back to the 90s. I mean, never say never. I mean, we're talking another $40 drop. Let's get real here, guys. I don't think that's going to happen, but never say never, man. And just keep your eyes on this triangle. The best case scenario for the bulls would be we rip out of here and ultimately take out 160. Once 160 can break, then it could be off to the races, but we're not there yet. We're just not. So let me show you now. And the crazy thing is, I said Palantir was super frothy to end off the year, and it's pulled back aggressively since then, right? Like we just saw, and the price to earnings ratio is still a 227, guys. That's their trailing PE, and their forward PE is a lot better, but it's still a 111, which is, it's very high. If you're a value investor looking at that, you're not feeling too comfortable now, are you, right? On 111 forward PE, 227 trailing is nuts, and the market cap is $343 billion. Pretty big company, and I think it got up to what, 400, 500 billion at one point last year. And if we're looking here at the analysts, we still have a lot of bullish analysts. Based off 30 analysts here in April, we have 17 buy ratings. It looks like one strong buy, 10 hold ratings rather. Looks like one underperform, one sell rating. So a majority of analysts still have Palantir as a buy, which I could see why. Once this whole software sell-off blows over, which I don't think it's over yet for the most part, but I think we could get a re-rating in Palantir, especially if earnings are good, guidance is strong, and this won't happen overnight, but I'm talking over the next couple of months. I think Palantir could see a re-rating and, the stock start breaking out again, because it shouldn't be, sucked into this software sell-off. It's almost like somebody that's been wrongfully convicted, right? But maybe that's a bad analogy, but you guys get the point. It's kind of catching heat from the sell-off that maybe it shouldn't be catching this much heat. What do you guys think? And looking at the price targets on the street, we have the high at 260, which is insane. I got to be honest. That's a 12-month target. 260 is wild. 186 is the average, which, okay, I can get behind that. And $70 is the low. And let's see what firms are the most bullish. We have Wedbush. Obviously, they have a 230 price target. They're at the top here. They have an outperform rating on the name. Loop Capital has a buy. B of A has a buy. B of A's target is actually the second highest. Wow. B of A has a 255 price target on Palantir. Citigroup has a 260. They have a buy as well, obviously. Looks like Loop Capital has a 180 price target. And let's see, who has a 50? Oh my gosh. RBC Capital thinks it's going to 50. They have an underperform rating on it, but, the majority of these firms, institutions, have a buy and outperform, and the price target you guys can see on average is, near $200 a share. So at this point, guys, based off that, which we have to take that with a grain of salt. We do have more upside in this stock, potentially, based on the analysts, which, again, take that with a grain of salt. And we can see here, revenue estimate. We can see the average estimate's $1.54 billion for the quarter they're about to report for versus last year's $883 million estimate, or not estimate, but that's the actual number from last year. And that's estimated growth of 74% year over year, guys. Very good, very strong growth. And for the current year, we can see Palantir's projecting, or analysts have them doing $7.27 billion of revenue for the 2026 year versus last year's $4.48 billion. That's growth projected of 62% for the full year, year over year, which is great. And the average estimate here for EPS is, let's see, 28 cents. Last year they did 13 cents. And for the current year, analysts have them doing $1.32 versus last year's 75 cents. So Palantir's growing, man. 73% is the projection for top line, 74%. But is that enough to justify the 111 forward PE, 215 trailing PE? Is it? Is it? Some would say, a lot would say no, and we'll see, man, when it comes to earnings. If they surprise, I'm telling you, if they surprise top line, let's say that number comes in 80%, 90% growth, which is possible. We've seen them surprise the street many times before. I think this triangle could break. But the key number is $160 a share. Look, I'm not going to get excited until Palantir starts to get out of that brick wall, which it's been a brick wall since the beginning of February. 3 months, right? We've struggled at $160, and I thought we were going to get this cup and handle to play out. We didn't. And yeah, it's been making lower highs since, and we need something, a catalyst, something to bring us up. And well, we might get that in less than a week with their earnings on the 4th of May. So what do you guys think? Are you in the stock? Are you selling the stock? Are you buying it now? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, I'm long. Like I said, I sold a good chunk at the end of last year, but I still own some Palantir, guys. Not, it's not a huge position. I got to be honest. It's not a major position for me. And even when I bought it, or even when I wrote it up to 180, I mean, I wrote it to 200, then I sold at 180. Even at that point, it 10x'd, whatever. I made like 800, 900% on the shares I sold. Even at that point, it wasn't a massive position. Quite frankly, I should have bought way more at $20 per share when I was loading the boat. I should have bought more, but it is what it is. It's one of those that I bought a decent amount. It 8x, 10x, it grew to a good amount, but it's one that I could have easily sized in, way more. But it is what it is, guys. You can't, you never know. When you're buying a stock, yeah, you can have conviction, but you don't know if it's going to 10x that quick. And Palantir really 10x'd in like 12 months, whatever it was. It was unreal. So yeah, it kind of just blew up. It grew so quickly to the point where I wasn't able to really build it up to a huge position before the run because it ran up so fast, right? It's just one of those stocks. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Run the likes up. Make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and join the Patreon if you guys want to see all the moves I'm making, trades, investments, how I'm selling options to create income within my portfolio, and you get access to my private Discord. It's all on Patreon. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or simply go to stassurfest.com/Patreon. I'll see you guys in there, and with that being said, have a great rest of your day or night, depending on where you're watching this from. I'll see you guys later.